Good morning to Jason, who is joining me today, who is from Friesland Campina. And yeah, Jason, let's introduce yourself a little bit about your current role in Friesland Campina and also your day-to-day job scope to the ones who are watching this interview.
Right. Thanks, Adam, for having me. I'm honored to be in this interview. I'm currently working as a digital data analyst with Dutch Lady, a sister company of Friesland Campina. My day-to-day work will be assisting with the brand teams who are managing the Dutch Lady brand as well as the Frizo brand. So I work in a small team with the head of media and digital, and I'm the go-to data guy. And everyone comes to me so that the data are not siloed, and I'm the connector between all the other managers.
Now, joining me here today is Chris from Friesland Campina.
Good morning, Adam, and good morning, everyone. So my name is Chris from Friesland Campina. If you're watching from Malaysia, that's the holding company for Dutch Lady Malaysia. So my current position is product manager slash solution specialist in the company. So what my current job scope is working with vendors, building the B2B marketplace app for our downline. So our downline as in like the customers of the distributors.
So big data should be a big part of your job role.
Yes. So it's end to end. I gather all the data from everyone, put them together so we can have a consolidated view, and then it's better to analyze the data from different sources rather than them sitting in different silos.
Well, is big data a big part of your day-to-day job scope? Would you say?
Big data is so because currently what my position is more focused on the functionality of the application, making sure that it's ready and things like that. But the fundamental and the purpose of developing this app is that for principals like Dutch Lady, to be able to get all the data from the market, because traditionally how it works is that principals, they'll sell to distributors, and that's where that's where it kind of stops. Like after that, it's a black hole. It's like we know that we are sending stocks out, we know that money is coming in, but to get the market insights, it's not that easy. So normally what has to be done is that we rely on like distributors to tell us, but most of the times distributors are busy or maybe not too tech savvy. Some not too tech savvy, or don't want to share. So those are some of the possibilities. So I would say by building our app, we are making the customers of the distributors the seller. So that's where data, big data comes in, because we do want to know where does our sales go to, what kind of market, and to help us better prepare for future, like marketing or sales and things like that. Yeah.
So why in the first place would you like take the enterprise big data professional course?
First, this is something that every professional should do. It's a way to tell people that the skill we have are applicable and is used for our day-to-day job when it comes to data.
Like, how was the experience during the training, and what do you like about the training?
So I think in terms of when people mention big data, yeah, most people would already have like the basic idea. Oh, data, what is it about? It's about information and Excel spreadsheets and all these things. So that's on a high level what people know. So I think by joining this big data foundation course, so it helps with two things. One is that it helps me with like being able to articulate it in a more formal and a more structured framework. So by going through this course, it helps me to structure the thought process of what big data is. And also the second part is also understanding a bit more. So maybe there are some parts which I was not aware of within big data itself. So the course actually does teach the fundamentals of it. And saying that for big data, it's not as simple as data. There's a lot of different streams within big data to look.
I like how the syllabus are concise and practical, where all the most important topic you need to know about big data is there. It comes in a size that I think not just for me, who has a full-time job and have project deadlines to meet, it's enjoyable to learn, right? While we learn the concept of big data, which are often thought to be complex and technical. So they come in bite sizes. I feel that for starters, they get to know from this course what they need to know to start their career in big data, and this is a good launch pad. So I've attended several big data training for the past few years, and I feel that this one is among one of the most professionally done. The trainer at the time was very clear. Lessons are timely and conducted in a manner where everyone is given time to catch up. The students and I was given time to ask questions and discuss. Before moving on, we were also tasked to do some simple sample questions to better reflect on what we have learned.
That's great, and it's very positive feedback from you, and of course, thank you for that. We are also curious about after being certified as an enterprise big data professional. How do you apply now in terms of techniques or maybe technologies in your job, and how has it certifying as a enterprise big data professional help you develop your career and your skills?
It helps me to be more confident. The professional training course is also concise and practical, because you are learning what you need to know to get your job done, right? So because of that, I'm able to apply to what I do day to day, right? Not many training course does that for me, because some of the things I learn in other courses, I don't get to apply them. Another thing about this course is that I can also see that my stakeholders are more confident when they deal with me. And of course, I'm also more confident now that I see that I passed with the test with a good score as well.
At least, as translate to what I'm doing, you would have in mind, like when you develop an app and things like that, it will help you bring back to the fundamentals of why you're building the app. Like at least for me, because what we want to know the market data and things like that. So while yes, a lot of my part is building on the functionality, making sure the app is pretty user friendly, etc. But at the end of the day, it also after having been through this course, it also gives me and puts in the back of my mind that yes, data is still ultimately what the business wants, and however we build the app is also shaped not just on user experience, which is very important, but also in terms of like how do we capitalize on all of these data that's coming in.
That's very interesting. So yeah, so after taking this course, right, do you have any tips in mind that you would give to future candidates or people who would like to take this course, the individuals, and would you recommend this training to anyone out there who is interested?
In terms of tips for taking this course, so I would say do pay attention in class. Like, I will put more time focusing on understanding what the teacher is asking, or what the teacher is teaching as well. It would also help because in a training course like this, right, you have people from different departments of IT coming in, and they'll give different insights and inputs as well to say that why they see this course is important and how big data, does help in their respective work as well. So so when at least from my experience, when I think my teacher was Yan, so when he put in, from all angles, the different big data usages, what people are struggling with, he at least, when he helps to articulate and relate back to the theory for the other people, it also helps other people like myself to understand that, how does big data actually work. And it's just not just my department, it cuts across every single department, be it IT or non-IT, for big data. I mean, data is the future, right?
Yeah. I believe that is.
Today, compared to 5 years ago, when someone mentioned big data, you Google it, I mean, there's not many resources about it. And you go even further back in time, you want to even find an online video to learn about Excel formulations, not just VBA, right? There are not much resources out there, but today there are much more, right? So much so that you can actually learn on your own, provided that you are disciplined enough to finish them, right? Given that now there's so many contents out there, our attention span are shorter, it can be challenging. Once you feel you're ready to invest further and is looking to be certified professionally, there are trainings and courses that are expensive. There are also cheap ones. There are also some that comes with syllabus that can take longer to finish, right, or shorter time. The professional course, I believe, having done a few courses, this one offers the best of both worlds, right? The syllabus are relevant, as I mentioned, it's structured for working professionals in mind. If I were given the chance to go back in time, I would definitely take the course if I knew about it, because I would be able to save myself a lot of years learning on my own regarding on the topic of big data and data science. And as an alumni of the course, it is a great pleasure to know the trainer and also to be able to network with all my other fellow coursemates that I met in the training.
That's great. Those are very kind words and very wise, tips and suggestions. And also, Enterprise Big Data Framework is very glad and to be part of your journey. And we are now having another certified brilliant big data analyst within our community. We're so glad that we could be one of your best solutions in terms of big data. And also, it's from your saying, I think Enterprise Big Data Professional, this training is integration of both theoretical and also practical frameworks and hands-on experience that you guys could use for case studies. After talking to you, it's been a very great conversation, and I would say this big data professional training is actually setting a bigger picture rather than just explaining theories and frameworks for those maybe data scientists or data analysts. So even those who does not have the similar background, but they will be working with big data, which you've mentioned that big data is the future. So anyone who is interested basically will gain a bigger picture and setting the pace of their work and be self-critical as well in terms of data. Lastly, I would like to congratulate Jason on being certified as this big data professional, and thank you for taking this training with Enterprise Big Data Framework. And I would like to see you soon in the future if that's possible. And lastly, thank you very much.